And John, when she's on her game, boy, look out as she showed at the last World Championships.
Mensa Stock, she's powerful, strong. I watched her earlier in her career, and she had some troubles with scoring. She's developed single legs to both sides of the body. Her defense is getting better, and she's getting better on top. And so, you know, Coach Steiner, the national coach, says she's become the leader of this team.
And Coach Terry Steiner had to witness heartbreak for Mensa Stock when she won the Olympic trials at her weight for Rio in 2016, but wasn't able to qualify the weight for the United States at the last chance qualifier. So she watched as her team performed without her. Certainly she has grown her level of wrestling with the world bronze achieved in 2018, followed by the world crown in 2019. And maybe looking to see if she can make those Olympic dreams come through in her home state here of Texas, from Katy down near Houston. But Blaydes, the youngster, has to get something done in this second bout after getting throttled in the first. And a strong start for the teenager.
A strong shot, strong re-shot, went to the leg, drove her out. Good start for her. She needs to follow it up. Mensa Stock will come at you. She's gonna keep the pressure on. Nice single leg, though, from Blaydes from the outside.
Well, Blaydes won 3 matches in the challenge event yesterday, including 11-1 over two-time world team member Forrest Molinari, to advance here to meet Mensa Stock in the final series. 1-0 opening period of 2 here in round 2 of the best of 3.
Back-to-back single leg shots there. Both of them turned away from Blaydes. Good, just hip pressure, dropping her legs back, being aware of where she's at. Mensa Stock needs to move forward. Move forward. Put your hands on her. Put your hands on. Let her feel your power. Let her feel your strength.
John, this best of 3 final series, and normally if you see somebody at a tournament, you beat them, you move on. But you beat them and you see them a half hour later. Certainly you train for this against your training partners, but coming in here stylistically, strategy-wise, does it alter from what you've done in the first? How do you go about your business here when you see somebody multiple times?
Absolutely. You got to make changes in the middle. I mean, you go back to the back. If you had either a close win or you're concerned about how you're wrestling, I mean, you need to make changes. You need to get with your coach. You need to talk about things that you need to do better. Real quickly, you can make those changes.
And this best of 3 final series set up certainly for the United States to determine their true best performer at each weight and send them through to Tokyo. Mensa Stock getting readjusted here is the 17-year-old Illinois native, now wrestling in Pennsylvania in the high school ranks. Proving her mettle here, but Mensa Stock in on the double, trying to finish off and get credit for the 2, and now put on the board. Yeah, and a quick turn too.
Nice job on the double, just keeping your head up and going through your opponent. I thought they should have scored that 2 takedown and 2 exposure.
Not confirmed, so it's just the 2 for the takedown for Mensa Stock, and 3 officials, 1 on the mat, 2 seated, majority rules in most cases for them. 2-1 for Mensa Stock against the 17-year-old. For more on Kennedy Blaydes, here's Corey.
Kennedy has been absolutely dominating for her entire youth career. She actually went to the Tulsa kickoff in 2014 and completely dominated an entire group of boys. And she wrestled against all of them, and she got to meet the late, great Dan Hodge. And he told her, that is what I like to see, a girl beating up all the guys. She's completely carried on that dominance as we saw throughout this tournament. And now she has an early point up on Mensa Stock, hoping to do something spectacular. Jason?
That's high praise, Corey. Thanks from a guy like Dan Hodge.
Dan Hodge, 3-time national champion, University of Oklahoma Olympian. One of our heroes. If you grew up in Oklahoma like I did, Danny Hodge was one of your heroes.
Alongside Oklahoma legend John Smith, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 6 Olympic and world titles in all in a row for the United States. Jason Knapp, Corey Robinson down that side. Glad to have you with us here for these U.S. Olympic wrestling trials. And as Kennedy was talking about, the late, great Dan Hodge was talking about, Kennedy beating the boys. Well, that was when girls had to wrestle the boys all the time. But girls wrestling, women's wrestling exploding at the scholastic and college levels. Just announced tonight, North Dakota, the 30th state in the United States to sanction girls wrestling. And it's over 70 colleges now in the United States sponsoring it too, as Mensa Stock, who's a product of Wayland Baptist and that talented college program in the college game, gets in for another 2 and try to get an armbar done too.
Nice double leg to score here. It's their second double leg in this match. Flexibility. Blades has got a lot of flexibility right here. Nice run over. She needs to settle in. They stopped them as they went out of bounds. They stopped. You'd like to see that change a little bit, you know, especially in pinning combinations where they're moving off. The pin's the ultimate. I think as you're pinning someone and you go off the mat, as long as there's some sort of your part of your body on the mat, you'd like to see them make that change, and that's going to better the sport.
So 2 more for the turn there. The exposure of Blades put it in the score column for Mensa Stock. 6-1, under 2 left to go. Again, Blades needs to win to send it to a third, a decisive bout in the best of 3. If Mensa Stock wins it, the Texan is on to Tokyo.
Blades needs to work back towards her single leg like she did in the first period where she got the drive out. There's her single leg. She needs to go again. Double it up. You miss it, build up. Bring your head up, drag out, create some action. There's another attempt. Mensa Stock just really strong, getting hips back. Awareness when she's shooting, she's dropping her head in there, using her head as part of her defense, using her forearms to start, and her arms part of her defense. And lastly, you see her scoring with her hands on her runarounds. Right here, good job dropping that head down. Really hard to go through a head.
Kennedy Blades certainly been tearing it up at the junior level in the high school ranks, but taking on a world champion here at the senior level, a different tall order. Mensa Stock 2 for the takedown, 2 more for the turn, and 1 more turn away from ending this early. Now, they did not score that second 2, so it remains 8-1, but it may not change anything here. Mensa Stock closing in on a Tokyo trip.
You wouldn't see that 2 years ago, that counter offense where she just quickly sprawled her legs back and ran that corner to score a takedown.
Well, Tamyra Mensa Stock, 2019 world champion, won at the Olympic trials back in 2016 in Iowa City, but never made it to Rio. The weight wasn't qualified, and she couldn't get it done at the last chance qualifier. Well, no trouble this time. The weight's already pre-qualified, and she's going to the Olympics finally.